here we are at our accommodation for this evening. This is Auntie Med's cottage. Let's go inside. So the key is already in the lock. Oh my goodness. Now this was renovated. This was renovated. It did feature on Restoration Australia, which is a television program where they show people videoing, where they show people restoring old properties or extending them. And I think this may be the bathroom. Let's have a look. Oh yes, this is the shower. Oh my goodness, it's lovely. It's small, but that's okay. It's enough to, I love the tiles. Oh wow, that's exciting. That is lovely. There is, so Restoration Australia features on the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, our television over here, our ABC. Oh, and here is an outdoor bath for those warmer nights. Oh, and shower. Okay, how exciting. A little barbecue area and a seating area. It's lovely. So Restoration Australia is on our ABC. You can see it on playback on the channel. This was featured a few years ago where Kate and her mother, I think, owned the property, or they were renovating it together at the time. Actually, I think there's another building on this property that they renovated. It may actually be that one right there, right in front of the camera, which is private. I think they live there. So this is lovely. Okay. Very exciting for this evening's romantic getaway. And this is pet friendly as well. So we'll bring the boys in a minute and they can have a walk around and we'll start getting dinner ready. Okay, a big experiment, everyone, today. This is our first cooking display or cooking on the channel. We are in Auntie Med's cottage overnight. We're staying here so that we can video around the area for you. And the idea is this is an 1850s cottage, so I want to cook as they would have, or thereabouts, as they would have in the 1850s. So a very basic meal. We have, I'll just show you, we have carrots, potatoes, we have added in a little bit of garlic. I'm not sure that they would have had garlic. We do have onion and leek. This is butter supplied by the cottage. I'll just make sure that you can see that there. So there's butter, we have a lemon to add. We're going to add a little bit of red wine. So this will be a hard take on an Irish stew. So it will be very, very basic. We do have some chard. We picked up some chard from the community garden, and the bed and breakfast has supplied us with some also. So we will possibly fry that with a little bit of onion and butter, or leek and butter. And the issue is here, we're going to cook it on this stove. So an open flame fire, as they would have in the 1850s. We did bring our own enamelled cast iron pot. Let's see how successful we will be. Wish us luck. I'm hoping I can perhaps cook some damper bread, and if we are really lucky, I am going to try and bake some biscuits that may have been baked in the 1850s. But this will be a real trial for us. I have never baked or cooked in an open flame, in an open fire. So wish us luck. Let's see how we go. We have added a little more. I forgot to add the runner beans, and also we have over here a leek. Earlier at home I used the mortar and pestle for the pepper and salt, so that was brought from home, as was the lemon. So let's see how we go. To begin, a red wine. I think I'm going to need this. We'll see how we go. So I'm heating the pan at the moment. It is hot. I just touched it and burnt my fingers. It's not hot here, but it is hot at the bottom of the pan, which, my goodness, I've burnt my fingers. Okay, so I'm just waiting for those flames to go down so that it's really nice hot embers, and then I will start putting our ingredients in. Let's see how this turns out, everyone. It may or may not be a disaster. We'll see. Okay, we'll just wash a few of the vegetables. Just a minute. They have been pre-washed, but I just like to give them a bit of a rinse and make sure that they're cleanish. They're all tidy and clean, and the beans. It's just a really quick rinse through. Now, ordinarily, when I'm at home cooking, I put my hair up, but I haven't today, which is probably not that hygienic, but anyway, I like to get my hair out of the food. Okay, yeah, that's a supplied knife. So what we'd like to do, I'm going to pop, now obviously in the 1850s they would have had lard. Most of you will know an Irish stew, but if you don't, then I'm just going to give you the basics. There's no really with Irish stews or any sort of stew, it's what you have on offer, and it was in the 1850s what they had on offer. Mainly root vegetables. That's a nice sharp knife. Now we'll do these in little sections. That will give us a quicker cook. I'll just pop that in the... Oh! Okay, we've got potato flying everywhere. I think you can hear that sizzling. It's only cooking on one side. So I'll move the pan. Let's have a look. Sorry, I just had to get a tea towel. I did burn my fingers earlier, so not really what I should be advocating. Okay, onion or leek. I think we'll try, not a potato. So that they would have had a lot of potato in the 1850s. It was an easy vegetable. They just planted and waited until it grew, and it also helped break up the soil. Let's have a look at this leek. Perhaps we'll skip the onion actually, because we have the leek, so I don't think we need too much. I'm not a great cutter either, so do not judge my cutting skills. I'm just an ordinary cook, house cook, domestic cook. Okay, let's pop that in. I may have to put in some more olive oil actually, because it's I think that's really, it may be too hot to... I might try a little bit of butter actually as well, that won't hurt. I'll have to pop all of that in the compost, and what I will do is chop this a little smaller, just so that everything cooks a little quicker. Although they would have made it a stew quite chunky, and of course the Irish stew would have had lamb or a cheap cut of beef, but we are vegetarian, so that is not my idea today. Okay, I'm just chopping up a handful of runner beans, nothing too exciting. So that was 2 medium carrots. There's only the 2 of us, and we are here for one night, so we don't want to be carting around excess food if we overcook it. So I'm minimal ingredients. In fact, it may be too much for us this evening anyway. Now, I was going to cook damper, but we have bread, and the B&B have given us bread. So we may just use that rather than messing around too much. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper, that doesn't hurt. And I may even put a splash of wine. I will pop a bit of lemon juice in it, just to give it a bit of zing. And I may, just for our benefit, also pop in some garlic, I think. So I'll just give this a squeeze into the pan. That's that. A little bit of garlic we'll just put in. I may actually crush this. I'm putting in 2 cloves. It really, look, whatever works for you, particularly in an Irish stew. As I say, there's normally meat in them as well, so you just adapt these things to what suits you and what you're happy with. People don't like garlic, they don't put garlic in. If you don't like leeks, you use onion, or perhaps you don't at all. You can just use vegetables and a bit of meat. Actually, instead of using another pan, we'll try to do this in a one-pan meal. So I have chopped up the rainbow chard, and I will just put it in this pan. Okay, we're going to put some rosemary in, and we have put a little bit of water in there and a bit of rosemary. There's a lot of wine, and it's nearly ready. So it really has not taken that long. Probably 20 minutes, around about 20 minutes. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Well, we spent a beautiful evening in Auntie Med's cottage in Clydesdale, which is an 1850s fully renovated cottage from the 1850s, from the gold rush era. We are taking you out today around Clydesdale, and then next week we will be showing you other towns. For the next 2 weeks, I think, we'll be showing you other towns in the area. But this was a really beautiful stay, romantic, absolutely wonderful for 2 people, and we also have the dogs and the cat. It is a pet-friendly facility or accommodation. The owners, Kate and Felicity, did leave us a beautiful vegetarian breakfast of mushroom and egg, and we had some chard, and it was just beautiful. And you have coffee making and tea making facilities. I absolutely recommend it. It was beautiful. It is currently, as it stands at the time of filming, it is approximately $291 a night, but well worth it, considering that you can also bring your animal companions along. Okay, so I will switch to the other side of the camera now. I'll give you another little look around the place in the daylight, and then we will head off. Okay, see you then. We are still in Clydesdale, just behind the bed and breakfast that we stayed at, Auntie Med's Cottage. I wanted to show you, we've taken a road, or a track as you can see, just behind the cottage and off the main road. And we have all of these piles of fill. And what they are is the tailings from the gold diggings. This just shows you how much damage was done during the gold rush. I'll take you for a little walk around. It's really quite prolific around here. But see, this would have all been relatively flat. Although it is undulating land, it would have been flat. But you can see these piles of tailings. We'll just walk down a little bit more down the track, or it is a road actually. That is it. I will try and show you a little more around Clydesdale. There is not a town as such, but it is a pretty area. So we'll go on and show you just a little bit more. So just walking up the road a little, and I have seen this, I just spotted this beautiful old building, which even though it does say, there is a sign at the front that says hall for hire, so presuming it is a hall now, but this was the Clydesdale State School. This beautiful stone. Now it's a Clydesdale Public Hall. The former Clydesdale Commons School was erected in 1867. It became a state school in 1872, replacing the earliest school said to have been held in the missionary building located across Jim Crow Creek. Sandstone used in the construction was quarried near the site. The school closed in 1941 and the building is used as a community hall. So it's funny what you come across. This is set in the hills. It is well off the main road. Doesn't seem to be an actual town of Clydesdale where there are shops and things like that, but there appears to be all of these buildings dotted in the hills. Let's have a look. There's public conveniences just there in the Pebble Dash. But if we have a look around, I don't know if you can see it in the footage, but this is really quite hilly. And there's a war memorial there which we shall walk back to in a minute. I just want to go around here and have a look. There are many rabbits here, everyone. There are rabbit holes. I don't know if you can see them there, but there are rabbit holes everywhere. So you do have to watch where you're walking because you trip up and sprain an ankle or something. Memorial here. I'm not sure when this was erected. We'll have a look. It says Korean War there, World War, the Second World War. And and that's the First World War. Oh, okay. The war memorial was dedicated in 1991. Just I'll hold the camera up so that you can read that. If you stop your YouTube, or stop your television or your computer now, and you should be able to read some of that, I'm hoping. It's just a history of the school and the display. There's some really old photos there. And there's the front door. We can see that there, right there. And there's a roll of the children and whatever they're doing in there, how they're doing in health and mathematics and English. And there's another photo there. It doesn't give me a date. Oh yes, it does. What day is that? 1920. And so it goes all the way round until probably just a few years ago. Okay, so that's interesting. Really interesting for visitors. But as I say, it's set off the main road, up a dirt track where you wouldn't know it was here. So it didn't even have a signpost. We'll see what is further up the road. So just down from what was the school and is now the community hall, closer to the main road is this old church, which appears now to be a private residence. There is an addition to the rear of it, further closer to the camera. But we'll walk around. We can't get any closer. There is a fence here, and as I say, it is a private residence. But I would suggest that this is, or was at one stage, the main area, the main town, the main hamlet, I guess, of Clydesdale. We have just been up the road a little bit further up this lane, and there is nothing else of significance. So these may be the two remaining buildings, public buildings of Clydesdale. So you can see there, the front, that would have been a church. Another area in Clydesdale, this time. Last week we were in Newstead, which I showed you the indicators of flooding, these indicators on the side of the road that tell us it gets to 2 metres. So too here, there are warnings all down this laneway to say that it floods, clearly from this creek. And then coming across, we realised that there is this beautiful old footbridge. So I'm going to, not that it's going anywhere or going to anywhere or coming from anywhere, it just seems to be in the middle, as you can see. It's just in the middle of nowhere, really. And obviously disused. I will have to be careful in case. Oh no, it seems fairly secure. It seems fairly strong. I will be a little careful. That just shows you a beautiful creek. And it's coming at quite a pace through there. You can hear it. and then this footbridge basically ends up in the middle of not quite in the middle of a paddock, but on the edge. There's not exactly a footpath, and it really isn't a laneway that you would that there would be a lot of foot traffic. I guess it's just really there for convenience. So this road here that we're on is called Christmas Reef Road, which indicates, of course, it's named after a gold reef. Each of the gold mine, particularly the larger mines and the non-alluvial mines, were given names. And this one was obviously Christmas Reef. So this is the name of the road, and we have a beautiful old stone building that's now derelict, someone's home, presumably. And you can see, I'm hoping you can see the topography. It really is quite hilly. And this road winds around these hills. Once again, it comes from the main road and the bitumen road, and is just a little further up from where we've crossed that river with the pedestrian footbridge.